they gave me sort of options. They said, well, you can be a blob, and I could have been, and I quite easily could have been, or you can go back to school. And by that time I knew what school was. I was picking up stuff. I was like, I'm gonna go back to school, and they sent me back a year to the first year of my A levels, and I just went to town on reading, watching, listening, smelling, tasting, thinking, eating, breathing, meeting everything and everyone that physically could exist. One of the moments I do remember is I was watching Teletubbies and Stephen Hawking's Brief History of Time was actually happening at the same time. So I was like, not really understanding either, but I was eventually absorbing. My goal was I wanted my cast off by the time of the beginning of school. So even though that was 4 weeks and I should have had 6 weeks, I learned, for example, drinking calcium and drinking certain types of protein helps with bone recovery, blah 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 blah, doing certain exercises, all this I did. I got it off the day before I managed it, and the doctors were blown away really that my arm would repair in time. So I read not just the basic, not just on the Wikipedia page, I'd gone in. Went to school, that was interesting. I didn't even know what registration was, I didn't know anything really. I had some good people surround me, some friends, they sort of, this is your classroom, sort of kind of thing, which was needed. But I was really, really into reading, and not so much like fiction, like non-fiction, really absorbing facts as fast as I humanly could. I've got a bucket list of 100 films you should watch before you die. I watched so many of them and more, just so I can understand culture, what people were talking about. When people made a reference, when someone makes a joke, may the force be with you, and I was like, we don't. Now I know that's Star Wars, now I know So I think the biggest thing was actually to be left alone. They said to the hospital, even though I was having loads of tests, I said, I don't at the moment want you telling me what I should be learning or not. I just want to be able to have my free reign of exploring. I basically got to learn the world, and I'm not saying I know everything because I definitely don't, but I mean as in, I got to taste donuts for the first time. I remember the first time I saw candy floss was just amazing. I was just blown away, and it was down a street fair from where I was going to school, and I think I watched the machine for half an hour. Not in a sort of crazy weirdo way, but in a sense of just like, isn't that amazing? And I was saying to the people I was with, my friends, I'm like, that is amazing. They're like, it's just melting sugar. I'm like, no, you're not understanding the molecular properties. I was going to absolute town. I was like, this is insane. How are you not excited? How are you not excited about everything? The only problem was I was doing like 22-hour days, and I was like, sleeping was a struggle for me. Even when I went to bed at say 9 and I was knackered, I wasn't actually sleeping until 4 because my brain just wouldn't let me. It's quite common with brain injuries or any brain issue or disability in a way. People have trouble sleeping. If it be insomnia, if it just be your brain not switching off, just constantly going. I was allowed to free reign and explore, and then obviously as school started to get more intense and I started to get more tired, I moved on to a place called Icanhoe. So after the hospital, and I still went to the hospital all the time, I went to a place called Icanhoe, which was for rehabilitation.